Okay, so I've sanded things down first with a 150 grit, and then I went to a 220 and got it pretty nice and smooth and pretty clean. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and rub it off, and then use a tack cloth, get all the sawdust off it. And then I'm going to use a neutralizer and brightener. That'll brighten it up a little bit, give an even tone to everything. It's a very, very mild solution. Also neutralize any chemicals that are left in the wood. And we'll treat it with that. And hopefully it'll still be looking good. I'm doing the same thing to the pieces which are from the other side, which are taken apart. So here are all the pieces from the other side which have been taken apart, and they will get the same treatment. So putting on the second coat of the wood preservative, you really can see the color of the wood and the nice honey look, and it looks very clean. And you know that this should really help to keep it protected. I'm putting it all over, and especially getting in where there's joints and things like that. And also putting 2 coats of preservative on the section that I left together because it was still nicely glued. And you can see the difference where we put the preservative on the top there, bringing out that nice honey gold color, and then the untreated wood down below it, which of course we're going to treat with this second coat. And it's as it dries, it goes back to the sort of regular wood color of the ash. But once we put the varnish on, it's going to retain that beautiful golden honey color. As I'm getting close to the final prep on this of the wood, before beginning the varnish sealer and then the varnishing it, moving them inside so I can keep things nice and clean. And going to be doing all the varnishing and stuff inside. All the sanding I tried to do outside, so I didn't have a lot of dust. And again, I was wearing my KN95 mask while I was sanding, but we're at the point where we can kind of move inside now and do the final bits. The wood's beginning to look pretty good. Before getting going, I used one final go over with a tack rag, again wax and silicone free, so that will keep things nice and clean and get all that last bits of dust off there. Okay, so we're gonna start in on the sealer coat of the varnish, and I'm going to use Total Bolt Gleam 2. It's a marine spar varnish. It's got a lot of UV inhibitors in it. It's strong but remains flexible, which you need because the wood is going to flex and breathe. Of course, I will use my tack cloth to make sure that things are very clean before I put this on. I've got some pretty good brushes here, large ones for large surfaces, smaller ones to get into the cracks and all that. And then I've got the brushing thinner from Total Boat. And when you put the first coat on here, it's recommended that you thin it by about 25%. So you thin down the spar varnish by about 25%. And that allows then the varnish to really penetrate the wood very, very well. And that's what you want. And so this is a sort of first sealer coat. We're talking 4 to 6 coats in total on this. And like I said, the Total Boat Gleam is expensive, but it's consistently rated as one of the best spar varnishes in the marine community. And of course, those boats, they really take a beating. What we're going to do is we're going to start with having the pieces flat, and we'll actually start on the back side of them. This is a self-leveling varnish, and that will be important as we start filling in the grain and all of that. And when we do the section which is still assembled, we'll lay that down flat, and so that the self-leveling varnish can do its thing in grain and all that. The other thing about this is that if you do the coats pretty quickly, and it will dry in a high temperature in an hour or so, but you maybe want to give it a bit more. You don't have to sand between coats except for your final coat to get it really nice and smooth. Now we'll see how that works, because that doesn't always work out, and a lot of times you do sanding. But one good thing about Total Boat Gleam 2 is you don't have to wait days in between coats. And one of the reasons that's important is, of course, that you have less time for dust and things to settle on the varnish surface. And of course, if you're working to a deadline, it means that you can get the varnish on much quicker. So that's what we're going to try here. And we'll start with the back sides, and then when that dries, flip them over, and then we'll start on the front sides, and we'll start working with the section which is disassembled, which I have laid out here inside. Okay, so this has been thinned then by about 25% of the brushing thinner on there. And you can see as it goes down how it brings out that golden color in the wood, which is what we want to see. And hopefully that's the way that this is going to look when we get done. So that's the first go of this on here. And as I said, I'm putting it on the bottoms. This is the back of the back post. Putting it on the bottoms, and then we'll let that dry and then turn it over, and then we'll do the parts that you see flat so it fills in the grain. So after about an hour or so, you can flip the pieces over, so you're working now on the side that you're going to see from the car, and again, it's self-leveling, so if you can do it so that it will settle into the grains, it's great. Now remember, this is thinned coat, and so it's not going to it's not going to be so important that it's self-leveling at this point. In fact, we want it to really soak into the wood, but you again can see how it's bringing out the wood tones here. Okay, so the first coat of the thinned down varnish has been put on. I'm letting it soak in now, and it's more or less the color that the wood will be.